Hey, welcome to my channel, Giving Up on Manifesting. If you gave up on manifesting today, what is the worst that could happen? Let's talk about carrying on manifesting when you have actually already created it with your desire. When we say we are manifesting, you could have been manifesting for 6 months, a year. In that case, you aren't manifesting, are you? What you're doing is you're manifesting what you're feeling. You're not, if you've been trying to manifest a specific thing, anything in particular, and you've been doing it for a long period of time and you haven't seen any results, then it's time to stop manifesting, because you don't need to. The thing is, what happens is we get caught in this loop, we get stuck on this merry-go-round, we go round and round and round and we can't get off. We know we want to get off, we know we need to get off, but we can't, because our analytical brain keeps saying, just do a little bit more, do a little bit more. What if you just did this? What if you just tweak this and tweak that? But we don't need to. Really, what's happening here, I believe, is that we create, as soon as we have a desire for something, any kind of desire, it doesn't even have to be a really strong desire, any sort of desire, because if you've noticed over time, you may have manifested things into your life, or things have appeared in your life that you have thought about and sort of had a bit of a desire for, maybe a year previously to that, and then it's shown up. That happened when I got my Audi TT. I won't go into the whole story, but I just had a brief thought about a year or so before, when I'd seen a client of ours in one, exactly the same black one that I ended up having. And I thought, oh, I'd quite like one of those. That's all I thought. And I thought it was a nice car and I could imagine myself in it. It was that was it. And then the story goes on, and I ended up getting it purely by chance, because I ended up being sat next to one in a showroom and I wasn't even there for myself. But anyway, I won't go into all of that, but that was a desire, but it wasn't a really, really strong desire. So you don't even have to have a real strong emotion in order to bring something into your life. A lot of people I talk to have been feeling that desperate stage and really, really want the specific person in their life and haven't been able to let go, and have felt desperate and have got sporadic contact from that person just now and again. They've had contact, and then when they get better and they feel more neutral and more calm, they're not getting that contact. So they're thinking, well, something's wrong here. So surely the neutral state isn't a great state, because I was getting more contact when I was desperate. Yes, you were, but it's because you have that really overwhelming desire to hear from them or see them, which does manifest. For sure it manifests, but what happens is it manifests in a burst, and it's never what you want. It's either completely out of the realms of what you want to hear from them, or it's just not really anything close to what you're looking for at the moment. A little bit, but not there. And then it goes again and you don't hear from them for ages. So my answer to that would be, do you want to be in that state? Because that is a merry-go-round, and you can go on and on and on like that. Do you want that? No, not in the long term. The thing is, if you carry on in that state, you will keep getting that. When you are in a more neutral state and you really feel like, well, I feel like I'm detached a lot of the time and I'm still not seeing anything, every now and again, just remember your desire. I mean, I know you know that you want it, but what I mean is feel that real desire for it. What about your life would be enhanced with this particular person in your life? What would it be? Well, it doesn't have to be a person. We'll talk about anything here. And just give yourself the reasons why you really want that. Also, it's really key to look for, is there anything going on inside of you that contradicts what you want? Would you have to compromise something? Is there something niggling you saying, oh, actually, you're not quite ready yet? Because if you've got that going on inside of you, that is powerful, and that is a program, and that will manifest. So it will hold it back for sure. So have a look, because sometimes you can look at that and think, well, why aren't I ready? And then think, well, actually I am. And you can knock that out. It could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. So if I said to you today, if you've been manifesting something and you haven't seen any results, and you've been doing it for, let's just say, over 3 months. You've been doing it for over 3 months, you haven't seen any results, what would be my advice to you? My advice to you would be stop manifesting. And when I say stop manifesting, I mean stop kicking in techniques, stop doing anything at all, because you don't need to. You've done it all, and all you're doing by doing it again and again and again is saying that you don't trust that it's going to happen. I'm not saying you have to trust God or the universe or anything, just yourself, your higher self. You are not trusting in this process. You are butting in there. You are trying to control it, and that is why it isn't happening. You need to let go of it. And what I mean is, I don't mean that you have to stop thinking about it. You never have to stop thinking about something in order to let go. You just have to get into that state where you are partially detached. You're always going to have some attachment when you really want something. It's natural, there's nothing wrong with that, and it won't hold it back as long as it's not overwhelming and that attachment is there sort of underlying all of the time. If you're having times where it's not even existing for you in the moment, then that's fine, that's cool, that's the time that it will happen. And that shows to me that you're in a better place if you can get to a point like that. So far better to manifest it right when you are in a more neutral state, and maybe you wait a bit longer for it, than to keep manifesting scraps when you're feeling in the desperate state, because it's just like a drug. Like, you get it and then you just want more and you want more and you want more, but you're not really valuing yourself when it's a person we're talking about here. If you are just accepting those little bits and little bits because you're desperate for them. Why would you be desperate for anyone? Because you are saying they're more important than you, and they're not. You are the most important thing, and you just want to get yourself into that really great state where things come more naturally. It happens, and it happens as you want it to happen. You're not just getting these scraps, because that will just prolong everything and it will keep you in that cycle. So we want to get you out of that cycle, and you get out of that cycle by realizing that you don't have to do anything else. What is the worst that can happen if you stopped manifesting today? If you stopped trying to bring that thing into your life today? Wouldn't be any worse off than you were yesterday, would you? And believe me, you will not be any worse off in the long run. You will be better. One, you will feel better because you will feel like you're taking back control, because you will be losing a bit of control when you keep trying to manifest and keep trying to manifest. So you'll be taking back that control, so you will feel better. That will be good for your self-esteem and for your self-worth. You will feel higher value. And so nothing bad can come of that. Secondly, it will allow that manifestation to come to you. When you stop doing all of that, you stop that habitual manifesting, you will feel better. Something inside of you will release, and at some point that thing is going to happen. But you have to trust that it's going to happen. A lot of people say to me, I've had the feeling that it's done. I just know that it's going to happen, but then it doesn't happen, and then I feel with doubt again and fear, and I feel like should do something else. Believe me, you can trust that feeling. That feeling is a knowing, intuitive feeling. When you really feel it in the pit of your stomach, and you just really feel like, yeah, it doesn't have to be the pit of your stomach, that's kind of how I feel it, then that is a done deal. You don't have to do anything else. You can trust that feeling. But what that feeling doesn't mean is it's going to happen tomorrow or it's going to happen next week. There's no time scale with that. I think that feeling can be quite powerful, so you can expect it to happen the very next day, and then you get disappointed, and then you start mixing up your vibration with fear and doubt, and what if they do this and what if they do that. But really, you can trust it, but trust it to a point where you think, I know what's going on inside of me. I know really if I'm ready or not ready. I know. So it's all down to my feelings. So when my feelings are right, then it will happen. If you can trust that, then it will happen so much quicker, because your feelings will get right quicker. Really, it is as simple as that. I know it sounds too simplistic, doesn't it? And it's, as human beings, we want to control things. And we might say that we don't, but we do. We can't let go, because we feel like if we let it go to something that we don't understand, then it will decide that we don't really want it, or it will decide that we're not worthy, or it will decide that there's something better for us and we don't want anything better, we want that. But that's not the case. All you're doing is trusting your higher self, that bit of you. If you're religious, then I guess you would call it the Holy Spirit, you know. It's that part of us, inside of us, that we don't quite understand, and it's deeper than us. It's all knowing, it's all of that stuff. And it knows what you want, because it is you. So you are not giving it over to anything that might not understand you and that might think that you don't want it enough. Nothing is thinking there is something better for you unless you are thinking there is something better for you. If you are open to this person or something better, if you've always been open to that, then yes, maybe that will happen. But if you are dead set on this person, but you are not clinging on to it for dear life, then it will be this person, because you know that that's what you want. So it's all about what you know. I think that's it for today, actually. I just wanted to let you know that you can stop manifesting. That is you taking control. It's not you losing control. That's when things start happening, because you start loosening up, you start feeling better, and that detachment starts to kick in naturally. Like I said, don't look for 100% detachment, because it's probably not going to happen. And if it does, you probably don't want that person anymore, particularly. So you're not looking for 100% detachment, you're looking for a decrease. Measure your detachment between 1 and 10 at the moment. What is it? And if it's like your attachment. And if it's 8, say, which is quite high, aim to get it down to a 6. That doesn't seem so bad, does it? So measure yourself. So stop the manifesting. Give yourself a 2-week holiday, even if you can't. If you really feel that you can't stop it completely, think, okay, I'm going to give myself a 2-week holiday, because I guarantee you'll probably feel a lot better at the end of that 2 weeks. I can't say I guarantee you'll probably feel a lot better. That doesn't make sense, does it? But if it were me, I'd feel a lot better. I did feel a lot better when I stopped doing that. I did. And then I thought, I don't want to go back to that, because all it is an addiction, to be honest. It is an addiction. It's like, not being able to quit smoking or drinking or eating cakes or whatever. As soon as you stop it at first and it's not great, you feel that withdrawal, and you need to get through that period. And once you're through that period, which doesn't last that long, getting through that, you will feel better. And then maybe there will be things that you go back to manifesting, a technique that you love, that works for you every so often. But it's all about when it comes naturally, when it's an intuitive thing, when an intuition or when you suddenly find yourself visualizing something. This is what happens with me. I will suddenly find myself deep in a visualization. I haven't even known how I've got there. I haven't attempted to do it. I haven't tried to do it. I haven't decided to do it. And then that's an intuitive thing. So that's a nudge from your higher self, and then I generally see that manifestation really soon after that. But when I do that, I don't then get stuck in that, oh, should I do it again? Should I do it again? No, because that was the intuition. If I'm nudged to do it again, then yeah, sure. If I'm in the middle of it, yeah, I'll go with it. But I certainly won't then attempt to do anything else. It's all about practicing trusting your higher self, and knowing that you know what you want, and that's all that matters. There you go. What's the worst that can happen? Give it a go. Okay, that's today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love for you to do that. My subscribers are going up quite substantially at the moment, which is really nice. I offer Zoom coaching. Just pop along to my website and ask about that. I do personalised subliminals, mostly for my members, but I will do them for you. If you're not a member, you just get a questionnaire, fill it in, send it back to me, and we go from there. And what else do? I write books, and they're all listed below. Get Back With Your Ex, Degrees of Attachment. I really like that, Degrees of Attachment, actually, because it meant a lot to me. It was all what this meant to me, and how I started to make this work for me, understanding attachment. So I think it will really help. It's like $2.99. It's only, you could read it in 30 minutes, but it's something that people go back to again and again as like a reference point, and it helps them when they feel a bit stuck. So yeah, that's all of the sales right now. My son Harry has a Law of Attraction channel. I will link to that at the end here. On my end screen there'll be his profile picture, so you can click on that from there, and his is everything pretty much there is specific person based. So thanks for watching.